Love It or Leave It is an insanely funny, wildly popular, critically beloved, extremely handsome podcast hosted by former Obama speechwriter John Lovett on Crooked Media. Each week, Lovett, that's me, is joined by comedians, journalists, activists, elected officials, and more to break down the latest news with humor, analysis, and light optimism wherever applicable. New episodes drop every Saturday morning. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen.
Join Macy's this holiday season and help make a child's wish come true. Now through December 24th, write a letter to Santa in stores or online at Macys.com/believe. And Macy's will donate $1 to Make-A-Wish up to $1 million. Plus, you can give more with an online donation. All to spark joy and create hope for kids fighting critical illnesses across the country. Write your letter, learn more about Make-A-Wish, and give back at Macys.com/believe.
Good morning, everybody. 4 minutes after 10 as we get the mic today. Ray Dinger, Glenn Mack now. And, boy, Ray, so much to talk about. 3-hour show today. Last hour, we are very excited. Tell us your story today. Jim Gardner, the legendary Philadelphia newsman, Action News, Channel 6, for more than 4 decades, who announced recently that at the end of this year, he's going to curtail his duties to just the 6 o'clock news, and then at the end of 22, he plans to, what did he say, put away the mic, something like that. And we have the honor of having him today at noon for Tell Us Your Story. We did the interview the other day. We were very pleased with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. It was really it was fun to just sit down with Jim and hear him talk about Jim. You know, talk about his career, talk about the path that he took to Philadelphia, why he chose to stay here for 45 years, and the many experiences and the many famous people he interviewed. And it was fascinating.
Yep.
It was, I mean, it's something that everybody in our audience knows Jim Gardner, or they think they know Jim Gardner. But I think if they listen to the interview today, they'll know him better.
People grew up. I got a text from somebody this morning who said, I'm 52 years old. Jim Gardner has been in my living room as long as I can remember.
For sure.
Wow. Okay. We are going to get into a lot of things. We're going to get into the Bryce Harper thing. We have a great This Week in Philly Sports History brought to you by Scheib Sports today. The release, Ray, of the greatest sports movie ever made occurred 45 years ago tomorrow, so we're going to have some fun with that. On what we're watching today, I have kind of 3 of my favorite shows are back on the air. Not new. I usually go new, but I'm going to recommend these shows that have been on for a while. But let's start, of course, with tomorrow's game. Eagles, Saints. A game that I believe very few people, even 2 or 3 weeks ago, considered a possible W. The tide has turned. I just want to start with this. If there is anything working in the Eagles' favor, and you don't always like it to be this way, I don't even know if the Saints are going to be able to fill up the plane with players.
They got problems. They're missing players, and they're missing key players. That's, every team missing players, but when you miss the kind of players the Saints are missing, it has impact. And, you're playing with a backup quarterback, and when you are playing with a backup quarterback and you lose your best playmaker in addition to that, meaning Alvin Kamara, that's a big loss. Yeah, two offensive tackles.
Yep.
And Taysom Hill, who's, a very key guy, utility player that makes a lot of big plays for them. He's also questionable.
Their offense is in big-time trouble. The Eagles' defense, which last week put on its best performance of the year. Well, I guess Detroit, whatever, if that counts. But last week looked very impressive against a quality team. Has the opportunity this week to continue looking very good. We're very excited about that. We'll give our scores later on. We'll break it down in a lot of ways. But one thing, and the talk has been about all week, and I believe you and I are going to strenuously disagree on this one.
Okay.
Is the return of Miles Sanders and the issue of how much do you work him in. We all know what's been going on. The Eagles running backs had 3 carries earlier this year against Dallas. That's not a typo, is it?
No.
And then 10 against Kansas City. But the last 3 weeks, Nick Sirianni found religion. Apparently listened to Ray once or twice. The running backs have averaged 27 carries a game. Jalen Hurts is about another 10 per game. And the team has a phenomenal 628 rushing yards, best in the league, Ray.
Yep, last 3 weeks they've been the best. They've been the best rushing offense in football, and I can say I feel with absolute certainty their offensive line right now is the best run-blocking offensive line in the NFL.
Aha, good. I'm glad you said that because that's going to warm me up to part of this conversation. It has been, over the last few weeks, on the shoulders of Jordan Howard, who they were amazingly able to get through and stash on the practice squad, and Boston Scott, a guy who touched the ball in, I think, only pregame warm-ups for the first 6 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have been great.
Mm-hmm.
But now, Ray, the return of Miles Sanders, we believe, not definite, the best running back they've had since Shady, he's back. And game plans evolve as players become available. So, Ray, I'll just ask you to start. We don't know what you're going to get out of Sanders. We don't know how he's really feeling. We don't know, game plans change even during games. But going into it tomorrow, if I give you an over-under of Miles Sanders carries, I'm going to say touches at 11.5, which way does Didinger, the coach, I'm not asking you what Nick will do, I'm asking you what you would do. Which way do you sway?
What's the number?
11.5.
I would probably go under.
Really?
I would probably go under, yeah.
Best playmaker you got?
Yeah, but he's rusty. Hadn't played in a long time.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if he has 5 carries for 7 yards, okay, yeah, sure. But I guess I have a little more belief. Yeah, I mean, we're all operating in the dark here, and that is a big issue. But, Ray, let me say this. The Saints they have nobody on offense, but they continue to have a very strong defense, particularly against the run. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
They have an
You don't need to
defense.
laugh at me when I say that.
No,
Ray.
I'm
trying to set you up. Ridicule is not what I was looking for.
They're an excellent defense.
Yes.
Especially against the run.
Especially against the run. And they were last year. Finished 4th best in the league last year in rushing yards.
They've been really good for 4 years now.
Yes. The Eagles played them last year, Ray.
Yep.
At the time the Eagles played them last December, middle of December, the Saints had not allowed an opposition rusher to gain over 100 yards against them in 55 games.
Right.
More than 3 full seasons. And then, Ray, this.
This time he slips the ball off inside, and it's Sanders breaking free. He's at the 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Miles Sanders!
You're not going to catch him.
Ray, I believe that Merrill and Mike speak for all of us. Get him in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he can do it. He is your home run threat.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard's been terrific as 4.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
I love Boston Scott. I particularly love Boston Scott on 3rd and short or near the goal line, which is unusual for a guy who's, 5'2".
Right.
But he's good there. But Miles Sanders is the guy, if I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I do, who can break one for me.
He can.
That was the setup.
Oh,
I want you to,
I thought you were going to finish your thought.
No, that's to finish the thought, is that I think he can break it for me. Ergo, I want to see him, not 20 carries, but as I said, over under 11.5 touches.
Well, I mean, it may come to that. My feeling is very simple. What you got is working. Why change it? Why change it? I mean, you've got a really good thing working with Howard and Scott, and I would just stay with it. And I would work Sanders in some, but I would go with the guys that are hot right now. And there's the other factor is it's the kind of runners they are. One of the reasons I like about Howard and one of the things I like about Scott is they hit it. They hit it between the tackles. They run hard. They run straight ahead. They break tackles, and they always fall forward to get that extra yard. They're always moving forward. If I have one criticism of Miles Sanders, he's too much of a dancer. And when you're going up against a team and a defense like the Saints have, which leads the league in tackles for losses, they lead the league in tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Not sacks, but running back tackles behind the line of scrimmage. A guy that bounces it outside is going to get you some negative plays. Mm-hmm. And instead of Jordan Howard getting you 4.5 yards, so you're now at 2nd and 5.5, Miles Sanders decides he wants to bounce it outside, loses 4 yards, and now that's 2nd down to 2nd and 14. I think that we all heard the audio of the 81-yard touchdown run, which is great. But Sanders also has negative plays.
He does.
And I just think that you've got a really good combination now. The timing between your backs and your offensive line right now is really, really good. One of the reasons the offensive line are playing so well is they know exactly where the guys who are carrying the ball are going to be. They run the play just the way it's drawn up. They know exactly where they're going to be. They know where their blocks are going to be, and they're firing out and they're moving guys. To be frank, the offensive linemen here don't know where Miles Sanders is going to be after he gets the ball. He might be running the play it's designed, or he might be designing his own play. And it can lead you to big plays. It can create some big plays. But against a really disciplined, good defense like the Saints, it's also going to result in negative plays.
By the way, that touchdown he had last year against the Saints wasn't his only one in that game. He had 2. He had 14 carries for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns, another 21 yards on catches. And that's kind of what I would like to see him get. Maybe a little, the yards, maybe a carry or 2 fewer than that, but that's kind of it. And, the offensive line is playing great now. I feel like you're giving too much of the credit to the running backs. The offensive line is playing great now because Landon Dickerson is proving himself to be a really good run blocker. He may not be very familiar with Miles Sanders, but it's not like they just acquired Miles Sanders from the Bengals and he's walking onto the field. He played with these guys. He practiced with these guys. He's played for years with Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey. I think Mailata can handle this. I'm less worried about that than you are. I'm just of the mind, I don't always buy into the starter gets injured, he comes back, he starts. But I am of the mind that if I'm looking at these 3 running backs and I'm saying, who's my most dangerous guy, it's him. There's pluses and minuses. But I want to give him the opportunity to get those carries tomorrow. If it doesn't work, as I said, if it's 5 carries and 8 yards, it's like, all right, we're going to plan B. But I don't want him to finish the game with 5 carries for 21 yards. I think then you'll be underusing him.
Well, here's my fear. If they start Sanders, and it kind of sounds like Nick's plan, that's his plan.
Yeah, do you think start matters, though?
Yeah, I do. In this case, I do. Because I'm not sure of this coach's commitment to the running game. So if he starts Miles Sanders, no, you're laughing. But
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I know where you're going.
He starts Miles Sanders. They give him the ball in the first play. He decides he's going to bounce it outside. They lose 4 yards, and all of a sudden, in Nick's head, it's can't run on this defense.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's go. Put Jalen, get in the shotgun. You're going to be there for the rest of the day. We're going to ask you to throw the ball 40 times. I'm telling you, Sanders could lead to the kind of ugly first quarter with some negative plays that talk that coaching staff into getting totally away from the running game, and then Howard and Scott never even get in the flow.
He could, or he could have 5 carries for 55 yards, and you're off to a flying start.
Less likely.
I don't know what's less likely.
Played in a month.
Okay.
And you're saying he's going to rip off big yardage against the number 1 rush defense in football.
He did last year against that same defense. Why would I think? Yes, he's rusty. Let's find out how rusty he is. I promise. I make no promise as to how good he is, but I want to find out. Your statement about not trusting Sirianni yet is well-founded. That's what we're going to find out about the coach. That's what this year's about.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's what you're going to find out about the coach.
Well, maybe we will, and if we do, I'd rather find it out sooner than later.
If your running game had been getting stuffed for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and Howard was not getting anything done, and Scott just looked like another guy, and Miles Sanders comes back healthy, I'm right with you. I'm saying, hey, put him in there. He's your best option. You drafted him to be the guy. Give him the ball and let's go. That's not the case.
Yeah,
what has gotten your team back on track, what has got us even talking about this being a big game, is the fact that you have committed to a running game that is built around these 2 guys. Why take the ball out of their hands?
They're going to get their carries, but so is he. Probably Boston Scott will lose some. I still want Jordan Howard to get, 15?
All right. First 4 carries, minus 4 yards, and then that's it.
And that game's over? And the game's over?
No, then the game changes. Then the running game.
Well, we'll see. I don't know that New Orleans is going to be racking up a lot of points with Trevor Siemian and Tony Jones Jr., whatever it is.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because that's a decision the offensive coaches are going to make that, okay, this offense isn't working. And the relative score on the scoreboard isn't going to matter. They're just going to say, okay, That's what we thought. This team, you can't run against them, so we're just not going to run it anymore. And that's an easy way to lose.
We shall see. You and I don't often disagree on things. It's kind of fun when we do. There you go. All right, a couple of things, Ray. 215-592-9494 is the number. We got a couple prizes. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Ray, it was another week of carnage in my last fan standing pool.
Well, that's good for you.
It is good for me. Baltimore lost. Tampa lost. Arizona lost. Without a quarterback, they lose a lot. And the pool was cut from 782 people to 467, which is, about 40% got knocked out. We started with about 10,000. We're down to 467, all going for that championship ring from Mark's Jewelers. The Lions tie saved a lot of people because much over my strenuous objection, a tie is now not a loss. I lost that battle with corporate. I said, I need people to get knocked out. They said, no, we're gentle. A tie is not a loss.
No. You should have won that.
Yeah,
you
I
have
didn't.
to win to stay alive.
That's the way I wrote it up. But, Ray, those lawyers get paid more than I do. So, there you go. All right, we have two prizes to give away, and here's the deal. Mm-hmm. We have our usual Shibe Sports $50 gift certificate.
Okay.
Go to Shibe Sports, where there is a story in every stitch. That's a great thing. So we'll give that away to one caller, and you can also win a pair of tickets to see me and a cast of 30 much more talented actors, singers, and dancers at the Players Club of Swarthmore production of Cole Porter's Anything Goes. Pick any of 10 performances between November 25th, December 11th, a performance of your choice. And, Ray, maybe they'll get lucky and they'll see you in the audience that night.
Well, I'll certainly be there.
There you go. It's a lot of fun, and we're getting really close, and I'm getting nervous. You get nervous right before your stuff begins, right?
Not you. You're a veteran of this sort of thing.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way. I have the first line in the play.
Mm-hmm.
If I blow that line, the whole production goes screwed.
Come
anyway.
On, you got a singing solo.
I do have a singing solo.
You get a singing solo.
And a little bit of a dancing solo.
And some dancing solos.
But here's the best part.
I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this.
Because of your support of me and belief that I'll be tremendous?
Oh, totally. Totally. I know you don't believe that, but I'm 100% behind you.
No, the snide laugh at the end kind of takes away the credibility.
I am 100% behind this.
The good news is that I have many of the funny lines, so if I really don't screw up, it'll be fun. Anyway, you can win that. You can win the gift certificate. We would love to get some calls in. 215-592-9494. Coming up, Stupid Bet Update and your calls. Ray Dinger, Glenn Mack, now brought to you by the Casino at Delaware Park. We are here at the 1937 Brewing Company. Locally crafted IPAs, stouts, lagers, and more right here at the 1937 Brewery inside Delaware Park, online at delawarepark.com.
Join Macy's this holiday season and help make a child's wish come true. Now through December 24th, write a letter to Santa in stores or online at Macys.com/believe. And Macy's will donate $1 to Make-A-Wish up to $1 million. Plus, you can give more with an online donation. All to spark joy and create hope for kids fighting critical illnesses across the country. Write your letter, learn more about Make-A-Wish, and give back at Macys.com/believe.
Looking for a way to make some quick cash? Well, making money with DoorDash is super easy, guys. I love riding my bike around the city, and now I get to do that while getting paid. With DoorDash, I get to pick my own hours and be my own boss. I get paid on my deliveries and keep 100% of my tips. Not to mention the sign-up process was so quick and easy. Guys, I'm telling you, just download the DoorDash driver app and see how easy it is to start earning cash today.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so now is the time to plan your holidays at home with Alexander Steakhouse in Pasadena. If you really want to make it a holiday to remember, pre-order your slow-roasted prime rib feast, including all the holiday essentials. Your guests will love it. These sell out every year, so order early. Visit alexandersteakhouse.com and go to the Pasadena page. Again, that's alexandersteakhouse.com. From our family to yours, happy holidays.
Los Angeles Comic-Con. LA's favorite comic, gaming, sci-fi, and pop culture convention is back. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the LA Convention Center. Special guests including Zachary Levi, The Mandalorian's Giancarlo Esposito, Ming-Na Wen, Gerard Way, the casts of Arrow, Batman Animated Series, and SpongeBob. Check out the Star Trek Celebration. And over 40 voice actors from your favorite games, like Call of Duty, Demon Slayer, Naruto, and more. Get tickets now at ComicConLA.com.
Wait, who was that? Do you know whose voice that was there?
No.
Dan, you know who that cut is, that drop?
I do not.
All right. If somebody knows, let Dan know. I'm just curious who said that. Ray, we start the second segment of the Saturday show the way we always do, our stupid bet update. I do not smile these days, Ray, because what looked to be such a sure win for me early on is going south. The bet. What do you call it, the 20 for 20?
2020.
2020, which is Aaron Sipas, the Aussie punter, had to have 20 punts that end with the other team having its drive within the 20-yard line.
Right.
Simple math, simple bet. And I was up early. What do you have, 3 in the first week or something like that? I got up pretty early.
Yeah, I think he had like 5 in the first 3 weeks.
And then, well, not much. Not much. I had 9 after 9 weeks, and then last Sunday, well, it happened late, but
yeah,
I did.
I was not happy about this.
Yeah. It was in the fourth quarter with about 10 or so minutes to go.
Oh, less than that.
Okay. Well, hold on. Actually, you're right. 4:18 to go.
Right.
The score was 30-13 at the time. The Eagles are up. They have the ball at their, I don't know where. Here it is.
Right around midfield.
Their 41-yard line.
Right.
Aaron Sipas trots onto the field. Take it away, Merrill.
Sipas has a big leg. He has been booming the ball this year. And he gets it away. And it is high. Fair catch signaled for and made just outside the 10-yard line by Deontay Spencer. That's a 46-yard punt with plenty of hang time. And what he's trying to do there is punt them inside the 20. And he did that.
And he did that for me,
Yes,
as
he
Merrill
did.
well knows.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got one. It kind of keeps me alive. I mean, with the one, it's just like the slow tick of time. There are 7 games left.
Mm-hmm.
I need 10. I need a big week. You think this could be the week?
Tomorrow's the day.
Yeah?
Tomorrow's the day for you. Because, the Eagles have not been punting a lot the last few games. I mean, they've been controlling.
I'm well aware of it. One punt.
Yeah, and that's because they've been running the ball so effectively, and Hurts has been really good. So they haven't been punting hardly at all. But tomorrow they're going up against a really good defense in New Orleans. And I have a feeling that Sirianni is going to play it really close to the vest. He's going to try and win a field position kind of game. And so if they've got 4th and 6 inches at midfield, he's going to punt. He's going to punt.
There you go.
And
that's my coach.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you right now an over/under.
Yeah.
Of he's going to give you 3 tomorrow.
Really?
Yep.
Right it back on pace.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
All right. Good news. Good news for you. Good news for our producers.
Not good news for me.
No. This is good news for you either way.
Oh.
Not that part. The next part.
Oh.
We always. By the way, the nature of the bet is that the loser of the bet has to go out and buy dinner for the winner of the bet, plus the guys who are nice enough to produce us on the weekends with little fanfare. That would be Dan Wilson, Moshe Kravitz, Dave Breitmeyer.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph's, the oldest Italian restaurant in America, one of my absolute favorite places, a gem in South Philly. It may be the first restaurant I ever ate at in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, when I moved here, it's like I said, where do I go to get a Philadelphia flavor? I'll go to Ralph's.
Well, that was a good recommendation.
And I have been there dozens of times over the years. They said, hey, we want you guys to do that here.
Yep.
So we are going to be going to Ralph's Italian restaurant. Restaurants come and restaurants go. Veal parm never goes out of style.
No.
So we will be doing that.
And to quote The Godfather, best veal in the city.
Indeed it is. So that's the nature of the stupid bet. All right, let's get a couple calls in here. Chris, West Oak Lane, you're on with Ray and Glenn.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
All right, Chris.
We're good.
Couple of things. I kind of agree with Ray. Actually, I agree with both of you, actually. And I got to kind of explain it. So I definitely would not start Miles Sanders specifically for the reasons that Ray said earlier. he loses 4 yards on first down. It's 2nd and 14. We go 3 and out. We might not run the ball the rest of the day.
That's what I'm afraid of.
But yeah, I have no faith in this coaching staff to continue with the run. But I will say this: I would let the other guys start, and then let Miles be the home run guy towards the second half of the game when the defense is a little worn down and he's fresh, and plus he has the better home run capability. And like Glenn said, excuse me, like Glenn said, I would give him 5-6 carries, and if he's only getting 1 or 2 yards a carry, then just go back to the other guys. But
okay. You want to work him in and see how effective he is, and judge from that way.
That's actually kind of what I'm espousing. I'm not saying don't play him. I'm saying open with the guys that are working for you now and mix him in a little bit. And I think your point, and I've thought this too, is let that big offensive line beat up on these Saints a little bit. Let Mailata and Dickerson, pound away at these guys. And the second half, maybe that's when you put Sanders in there, and maybe he breaks away a 40 or 50 yarder.
I may not. Then we may be closer together than we thought. Chris, you may be the great guy, the Peace Prize winner for this one, because you may have found common cause between us. Hold on, let me just say this. I don't care if he plays the first series of downs. Start to me is overrated. And I understand your point. If it starts and it doesn't go bad, you think the coach is going to disappear. So play the other guys the first series. But I don't want – my point is I have a guy who I think is my best running back. If he is healthy, I want him to be a big part of the game plan.
Mm-hmm. Right, I agree.
That's where I am.
I think he does dance way more than the other two running backs, but he can hit the hole. He just – every now and then he tries to break one and loses yards, but he goes straight. He goes north to south when the hole is there, and if our offensive line is playing good, he'll get some yards. Like he didn't break that 81-yard run dancing, and he hit the hole and was gone.
Yeah.
So,
hey, nicely said, Chris. Good stuff. You're going to be in the running for a prize, Ray. You see what happened?
What's that?
Well, you and I, first segment, like, no, I don't think. Yes, I do. No, and then he comes on, and he forges the peace. Guy I don't know what he does for a living. He should be a marriage counselor.
He was this morning's Disraeli.
Yeah, everybody will get that reference.
Well, listen.
Way to play over the audience's head, right?
No, come on. We're living. Everybody's listening. They've all got a computer. They've all got a computer open right next to them. Yeah. Just Google Disraeli.
Wait, was that the Cream album, Disraeli Gears? Is that what
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
We're gonna get back to the callers in a sec, but I want to get this in because there was other good news in town this week. The other night, Ray, Bryce Harper wins the National League MVP award. I want to play something. The Phillies did a nice job of prepping for this and creating a couple of videos. They did one with their previous MVPs. It was Rollins, it was Howard, it was Schmidt. Mm-hmm. And then they got this one from other franchises. This is about 45 seconds. Let me play this for you.
Hey, Bryce, Dr. J here. Congratulations on winning the MVP of the National League. From one MVP to another. Welcome to the club.
Hi, Bryce. It's Eric Lindros. From one MVP to another, congratulations. Amazing job last year. Terrific. Looking forward to the next season. Be well.
Bryce, it's Bob Clark from the Flyers. Congratulations on your MVP season. And welcome to the MVP club in the city of Philadelphia, the greatest sports city in the country.
What's up, Mr. MVP? Congratulations, my brother. Well deserved, man. God bless you and yours.
Ray, I love that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I love. We talk about this all the time. Philadelphia is a sports community, and the history and the legacy and the continuum of it, right? Mm-hmm. So you go from Clarkie, who won it in the 70s, to, I guess, of that group, Iverson would have been the most recent.
Right.
No, Iverson would have been the most recent, right?
Right.
With Doc and Lindros in the middle, and it's great. I got to be honest. I don't get like goosebumps a lot. That gave me goosebumps.
That was a great idea, and it was really good that those guys all took part in it. And you could see. I mean, it meant a lot to Harper too. I mean, he didn't. When he saw it for the first time like we did, and he was sort of blown away by it too. And yeah, I like the. I think you said it well. I think that Philadelphia, in addition to being a great sports town, is a great sports community, and there's a bond that's sort of forged between the athletes. And You know, it reminds me of like late 70s, early 80s when all the teams started getting good kind of at the same time. And they all kind of lived close together. And like the Flyers and Bobby Clark and Mike Schmidt and Doug Collins and Ron Jaworski, and all, they were all best friends.
I think when we had Bernie for Tell Us Your Story, Bernie talked about hanging out with Jaws down at the complex sometimes.
Yeah, I thought that, and they all lived close together. They all hung out together. They went to each other's games. Like you go to an Eagles game, you always ran into a Flyer or Doug Collins, and you know the name Jaws. I don't know if you know this. That you know who gave Ron Jaworski the name Jaws? It was Doug Collins. Wasn't even one of his own teammates. It wasn't even a member of the press. That Doug Collins hung that on him. So, I mean, that's how close that all was, and it's nice to know that it's still ongoing.
All right, so do you agree with the choice of Bryce Harper as the MVP? Because there are some, including some on our station, who actually think he didn't deserve it because the team finished 82-80.
No, I 100% agree with it.
I 100% agree with it as well. The guys who were the other competitors that you would consider against him were on teams that had worse records, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Braves had some good players, not that one guy.
No.
Same thing with the Giants. All right.
Right, and I thought that, the Phillies, well, when we talked about this endlessly, I didn't think the Phillies were a very good team last year.
No.
And the only reason they were still within shouting distance of getting to the playoffs was the way Harper carried them the second half of the year. So, yeah, I mean, by the definition of most valuable player, I thought he was head and shoulders the best.
Right. So
looking MVP.
Looking ahead, and Harper was asked about this. He was on with Angelo and the morning show the other day and was really good and very candid and said, I have faith in Dombrowski. He's got to go out and get some players. Number one to me, they got to build a bullpen.
You think?
Yes. Well, my bottom line point is this. Bryce Harper wins the MVP, which is great. You signed Bryce Harper to that $300+ million 10-year, 12-year, whatever it is deal. You're going to waste that deal if you are remiss in building a bullpen, and I would say adding a minimum of 3 regulars to your lineup. They got huge work to do.
Yeah, they do.
Well, they need 2 outfielders for sure.
Yep.
And what do you like that shortstop?
No.
He's cooked.
Yeah, he is.
So, I can live with the corner butchers, maybe. I don't know. If not, you need a third. I move Gregorius to third. I don't know what you can do.
No.
All right, well, then I got no ideas. Then they need to add a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely they need to eat a lot.
Okay, so the follow-up to Bryce Harper is, hey, that's great, and all power to Bryce Harper. Now it's on the front office to go out and make it that he doesn't win these in vain every year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we kind of said that during the season. One of the shames of this whole thing is that you're wasting a great year by your best player. I mean, and you don't want to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, they have a lot of work to do, and you're starting with the bullpen has got to be rebuilt. You can't go with these guys anymore. You got it for the third year in a row. You're going to.
I was going to say that's what they did last year, and it didn't work.
The
problem is they don't have a farm system. That guys are coming up.
No.
Hey, Sir Anthony is going to be back next year. Problem solved. Eric in Philadelphia, you're on with Ray and Glenn.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Eric.
I had a few things. The first thing is I would definitely start Sanders, and one of my reasons is you look at Henry out in Tennessee. The guy consistently take losses behind the line of scrimmage or even stop at the line of scrimmage. Matter of fact, number 1 for the last 3 years. Yet they continue to give him the ball because they know he's going to either break a 10 or 15-yarder or even a home run. So I don't care if he takes a couple of losses. Our coach, if he has a problem with not running the ball, that's his problem. But star running backs, if you look over the history, they take losses, the ones that take chances, but they also break long ones. So I'm definitely starting him because he's a home run hitter. The second thing is
hold on, let Ray address that.
Okay, if Mike Vrabel was coaching the team, I'd agree with you.
That's what I just said. If Sirianni decides not to run because of that, that's not the running back's problem. That's a coaching problem. Okay. Now,
what do you think he's likely to do?
I actually think he'll run it. Believe it or not, I actually think he'll run it. Because of the fact that number 1, the last 3 weeks we did not play one of the best defenses against the run. So I don't care who starts; they're not going to all be getting no 5 yards a carry. So you got to have somebody in there that at least has the opportunity to hit a home run. Do you know how many times?
Go ahead.
Do you know how many times that I watch the game and I see a hole and Howard or Boston Scott get caught, and I think, damn, if that was Sanders, that he'd be gone. So
I disagree.
Thanks, Eric. We got to run. Thanks.
I disagree. They hit the hole when it's there. They hit the hole the way they run the play the way it's drawn up. That's their great strength, and that's why the offensive line is playing so well. They know exactly how the play is going to get executed. When they're breaking the huddle, they know exactly where that back is going to be. You don't know that with Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with their effectiveness. I actually wrote something down, handed it to Dave Breitmeyer, and was certain you were going to say it, and you didn't say it. Which was, I'm going to do this in my Ray voice. Are you comparing Miles Sanders to Derrick Henry?
Oh.
I was waiting for that.
No, I was thinking more of the coaching part of it.
Okay. 215-592-9494. Ray's college football preview coming up. Hey, we are brought to you by the Casino at Delaware Park. Watch and wager on all pro and college sports at the Delaware Park Sportsbook. Lottery agent for the Delaware Lottery. Must be 21 to play.
The holiday shopping season is here, and our friends at Shibe Sports are taking 25% off everything Black Friday weekend. So if you want a perfect gift for the sports fan on your list, support a local business, and do so at tremendous savings, then Shibe is where you want to go. If you prefer to shop from the couch, well, you can do that too. Everything's also 25% off online at shibesports.com. Great local apparel, and I might add signed copies of my latest book, Finished Business. You can go to Shibe at 13th and Walnut or shibesports.com, and you tell them that Ray sent you.
Join Macy's this holiday season and help make a child's wish come true. Now through December 24th, write a letter to Santa in stores or online at Macys.com/believe. And Macy's will donate $1 to Make-A-Wish up to $1 million. Plus, you can give more with an online donation. All to spark joy and create hope for kids fighting critical illnesses across the country. Write your letter, learn more about Make-A-Wish, and give back at Macys.com/believe.
Looking for a way to make some quick cash? Well, making money with DoorDash is super easy, guys. I love riding my bike around the city, and now I get to do that while getting paid. With DoorDash, I get to pick my own hours and be my own boss. I get paid on my deliveries and keep 100% of my tips. Not to mention the sign-up process was so quick and easy. Guys, I'm telling you, just download the DoorDash driver app and see how easy it is to start earning cash today.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so now is the time to plan your holidays at home with Alexander Steakhouse in Pasadena. If you really want to make it a holiday to remember, pre-order your slow-roasted prime rib feast, including all the holiday essentials. Your guests will love it. These sell out every year, so order early. Visit alexandersteakhouse.com and go to the Pasadena page. Again, that's alexandersteakhouse.com. From our family to yours, happy holidays.
Los Angeles Comic-Con, LA's favorite comic, gaming, sci-fi, and pop culture convention is back this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the LA Convention Center with hundreds of exhibitors, terrific holiday shopping, and tons of special guests like Zachary Levi and SpongeBob's Tom Kenny, plus a brand new esports, anime, and gaming hall featuring over 40 actors from your favorite games like Call of Duty, Demon Slayer, Naruto, and more. Bring your kids in costume to compete in the special Kids Costume Contest. Get your tickets now at ComicConLA.com.
All right, it is 10:45 in the Delaware Valley. Ray Dinger, Glenn Mack. Now time for the Ray Dinger College Football Preview.
We got a couple of big games today, and this one in the background you're going to hear the Ohio State marching band, and that's...
Ooh, Ray, let's dot the I.
Well, this game's actually not going to be in Columbus. This game's actually going to be in East Lansing. They're going to East Lansing, the home of Ike Reese, and they're going to take on those Michigan State Spartans in what is a very big game in the Big Ten for sure. Ohio State has come on after kind of a slow start this year. They've got really good players. It just took them a while to put things together, but they got it together now. The quarterback C.J. Stroud is playing really well, and I've seen this Michigan State defense, and I know number 4 versus number 7 should be a close game. I'm not so sure this is going to be all that close.
Unbelievable spread I saw in this.
Yeah.
19 points?
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
On the road?
You wouldn't think you would have a 19-point spread on a number 4 versus number 7 game, especially when that team's playing at home. but that sort of speaks to the disparity in the talent level between these teams, especially the Ohio State offense against the Michigan State defense. The Michigan State pass defense, in particular, is the worst the Big Ten has seen in 4 years. And what has allowed them to survive and what has allowed them to hang in this is their offense is pretty good, and they have a running back named Kenneth Walker, who's very, very good. And you saw earlier this year when Michigan State played Michigan, Kenny Walker ran for 5 touchdowns in that game, made a pretty strong case for the Heisman that day. And that's what's kept Michigan State afloat here is they run the ball with Kenneth Walker, they control the clock, they control time of possession, and they protect that defense, they keep it off the field. I don't know if they're going to be successful doing that today, and I have a feeling that pretty much every time Ohio State puts the ball in C.J. Stroud's hands that they're going to wind up scoring. So I think that point spread on paper, it looks huge. I think it's actually fairly accurate. Even though it's a road game, even though it's in East Lansing, I'm leaning towards the Buckeyes.
Wow. Okay, any other games worth watching?
Yeah, number 3, Oregon, is going to play at Utah, number 23. And Utah is, especially for college football fans in this part of the country, is really way off the grid. Nobody really pays much attention to them, but you should. They're a good team. They're 23. They're 23rd in the country. They're 7-3 this year, and they are just lethal at home. And now Oregon, to me, is number 3 in the country. But remember last week I talked about how I thought Oklahoma was undefeated, but they had to go to Baylor, and I had a feeling they were going to get bushwhacked at Baylor. I just
good pick by. Oh wait, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Upcoming, an inadvertent Ray Dinger gambling tip.
No, please don't do that. Please don't run out and put down
There
any
you
money
go.
based
You've
on
heard
what
of
I
Vegas
say.
Vic. This is Reno Ray.
Well, no, I think that to quote someone else on this station, the line is telling me something. Oregon is number 3, Utah is number 23, but Utah is favored in this game. So that'll tell you 2 things. Number 1, they have a significant home field advantage, Utah does. And the other part is a lot of people just don't, including me, don't really believe all that much in Oregon. And I'm leaning towards Utah too. I think they're going to win the game, and this is going to be a devastating. If Oregon loses, last week's Oklahoma loss was a devastating loss for Oklahoma. It dropped them totally out of any consideration for the playoffs. I have a feeling that Oregon's going to bow out today too, because Utah at home is really good. They've won 17 of the last 18 at home by an average margin of 19 points a game. So, and they have a lot to play for too, because if they win this game, they clinch a spot in the Pac-12 championship game. So I'm going to go with number 23 to knock off number 3 with Utah over Oregon.
All right, Ray, I do have to correct you on one thing. The game is at Ohio State. It's Michigan State at Ohio State.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
All right, one last thing I want to ask you. The Eagles right now have picks 5, 11, and 15 if the season ended today. It does not. Give me one player that Eagles fans should keep an eye on today.
Well, and that's going to be in the Oregon-Utah game. And even though I'm picking Utah to knock off Oregon, a guy who could very well be, and right now probably figures to be, the number 1 pick in the draft is going to be playing in that game. And that's a defensive end named Keon Thibodeau. From Oregon. He's 6'5", he's 260 pounds, and he's a really, really good pass rusher. So right now, most of the scouting services and people I talk to kind of have him as number 1. I don't know if I would have him number 1, but I'm certainly have him in the top 3 or 4. And you'll get
Miami to keep losing games.
And you'll get a chance. You'll get a chance to see him in that Oregon-Utah game later on today.
All right. Need the Dolphins to not win more games. All right, there you go.
They might help you there.
There, Ray Dinger College Football Preview. Let's go to Victor in West Grove. You're on with Ray and Glenn. Hey, Victor.
Good morning, gentlemen. I wanted to comment on your thoughts of the running game for coming up on Eagles game. I think that adding and starting Miles Sanders would be beneficial because since Scott and Jordan, they are, hit the line very quickly. And Sanders is more like a Le'Veon Bell who kind of sits and waits for the hole to open up. I think that would throw off the pace of what the defensive line might expect.
Yeah, so you're looking at it differently. I think it throws off the pace of the guys that are blocking for him. I mean, if you look at the way the Eagles' offensive line has played the last few weeks, and they have been really good. And part of it is that they're timing right now with the backs because they know the backs are just going to take the ball and hit the hole. That the coordination between them, the timing between those guys is spot on right now. That's why they've been so effective. It really it will change significantly with Sanders in there. It will. And that's why I just don't want to do that against a defense that's this good.
So, Ray, moving forward with this thing, let's say they win this game, okay, and they rush for 150 yards, all right, and Sanders has 5 carries for 25 yards, and the other guys do the bulk of the work. Next week, you play the Giants next week,
Play
right?
the Giants.
And then the Jets after that. I mean, are you going to keep it that way for the rest of the year?
No, I think you can work. I think you can work all through. We've seen the Eagles win with 3 running backs before.
Yeah,
but I'm telling
you're taking it slow.
I'm taking it slow because you got a combination that's working right now with the other 2 guys, and the other guy's coming off sitting. He's been sitting for a month. So work him in. Give him the ball, let him make some plays, but I would just stay with what you got right now and work Sanders in gradually.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably a little quicker than you. Matt, Northeast.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to talk about the same thing. Go ahead, Matt. Matt,
Hey,
you all right
guys,
there? I
hear
know
me?
you're juggling that daughter, aren't you?
Yeah, son and daughter. So if you got to drop me, that's fine. But
we're patient. We understand these things.
I appreciate you. The running game is so dynamic. I mean, for me, it's whatever works is the most important thing, but the running game has the potential to be so dynamic. And I like to see them realize that and stick with it, because I'm afraid that they're going to go back, they're going to revert backwards, and there's no reason to, right? Because the game, they could be a running game, but with so many different options. So, I'm looking forward to Sunday, but I'm nervous that they're not going to maximize what they have in the backfield.
How many daughters you got there?
I got a daughter that's going to be almost a year, and I got a son that's going to be 3 next week.
And you are making this call with both of them in proximity.
They were asleep right before they were asleep about 10 minutes ago. So, it's just the way it works. When I'm on the phone, they wake up.
Of course they do. You did a good job, though.
Thanks. Real quick before you drop me, TV show. Have you ever heard of The Boys?
Oh, sure. The superhero thing in real life.
Then,
yeah.
all right.
I watched it. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't think I loved it as much as a lot of people, but I give it a thumbs up. You liked it a lot?
Yeah, I liked that it was gritty, and there was a lot of oh crap moments, but not too much. It was for me. They sprinkled a lot of things in just enough.
That was a good show.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. Hey, thanks for the call. Good luck with those kids. I liked him, Ray. He may win a prize.
I
seemed like
think
a nice
so too.
fella.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, all right. Let's take a break, Ray. And coming up, I'm really looking forward to this. It is our Shibe Sports Philly Sports History brought to you by Shibe Vintage Sports, and it is. Normally we have a play in a game or a special moment or a game itself. Today, it's about the best Philadelphia sports movie ever made.
Oh, good.
And we'll tell people.
I think I know what that is.
Well, I think we wrote a book. 215. We'll continue to take your calls. 215. By the way, 2 prizes today. I'm sorry. You can win the $50 gift certificate to Shibe Sports, which is always fun. And I am giving away tickets. Yeah, by the way, make sure, do me a favor, Dan. Make sure they actually want to go to the play. I don't want to, do it if they don't want to go, which I understand. You can win a pair of tickets to see me and more talented actors than I am, singers and dancers, in the Players Club of Swarthmore production of Cole Porter's Anything Goes. You'll know half the songs no matter what. Pick any of 10 performances, your choice, between November 25th and December 11th. Tickets available at pcstheater.org. Today's show is brought to you by the Casino at Delaware Park. Watch and wager on all pro and college sports at the Delaware Park Sportsbook. Lottery agent for the Delaware Lottery. Must be 21 to play.
Join Macy's this holiday season and help make a child's wish come true. Now through December 24th, write a letter to Santa in stores or online at Macys.com/believe. And Macy's will donate $1 to Make-A-Wish up to $1 million. Plus, you can give more with an online donation. All to spark joy and create hope for kids fighting critical illnesses across the country. Write your letter, learn more about Make-A-Wish, and give back at Macys.com/believe.
Looking for a way to make some quick cash? Well, making money with DoorDash is super easy, guys. I love riding my bike around the city, and now I get to do that while getting paid. With DoorDash, I get to pick my own hours and be my own boss. I get paid on my deliveries and keep 100% of my tips. Not to mention the sign-up process was so quick and easy. Guys, I'm telling you, just download the DoorDash driver app and see how easy it is to start earning cash today.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, so now is the time to plan your holidays at home with Alexander Steakhouse in Pasadena. If you really want to make it a holiday to remember, pre-order your slow-roasted prime rib feast, including all the holiday essentials. Your guests will love it. These sell out every year, so order early. Visit alexandersteakhouse.com and go to the Pasadena page. Again, that's alexandersteakhouse.com. From our family to yours, happy holidays.